Secondary school students in Rio de Janeiro stopped the traffic to try to stop what they see as a major threat to democracy in Brazil.
Bolsonaro doesn't like indigenous people, black, LGBT. Bolsonaro is fascism. He is regressing to 1964, when he had a dictatorship. We need to move forward, not back.
The future of Latin America's largest country will be decided in less than 3 weeks in a runoff between ultra-right-wing presidential candidate Jair Bolsonaro and Fernando Haddad, the candidate of the discredited left-wing Workers' Party. The underdog is clearly Haddad, a moderate former education minister who stepped in at the 11th hour to replace his mentor, former President Luis Inácio Lula da Silva.
In 20 days of campaigning, we were able to get more than 30 million votes and take a little-known candidate into a runoff on the strength of our political platform.
But widespread anger against Lula, who's serving a 12-year prison sentence for corruption, is Haddad's Achilles heel.
But it's an uphill battle. It's a very long uphill battle. He has to find some way to connect to these people. He has to find a way to put forth his own message, to disentangle himself from Lula's image.
But the day after the election, Haddad's first move was to visit Lula in prison. Bolsonaro, who has a commanding lead, says he won't back off from his most controversial views, like supporting torture, shooting criminals on sight, and vilifying gays and women's rights groups. "I can't suddenly turn into a peace and love Jair," said Bolsonaro in a radio interview. "I can't violate myself that way. I have to continue being myself." Already, disturbing signs of intolerance reminiscent of a different time are emerging. At this school, for example, parents demanded that a novel about a family that was forced to go into exile during Brazil's military dictatorship be taken off the curriculum, arguing it was too leftist. And at Brazil's National University, chapters dealing with human rights were found ripped out of books and thrown on the floor. Brazil has never been more polarized, and given an unprecedented barrage of fake news on social networks, international observers warn the campaign could get uglier before it's over. Lucia, Newman, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.